Hey everybody, I'm back. It's me again, and you're back too, unless you're here for the first time, then you're just here. Anyway, here is Genesis 2, New International Version, of course, as before. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing, so on the seventh day he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because you can bless days. Yeah, sure. Because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. It doesn't seem very all-powerful if he needed to rest. I know this point's been brought up before, but I'm bringing it up again. Let's see, Adam and Eve. Let's see here, Genesis 2:4. This is the account of the heavens and the earth when they were created. When the Lord God, made the earth and the heavens. Meaning there are other gods, and this is the Lord of them. Now no shrub had yet appeared on the earth. There were no shrubs. There's a footnote here for that. What does that mean? Or land, also in verse 6. Okay, so it could also mean no land had yet appeared on the earth. Whatever. And no plant had yet sprung up, for the Lord God had not sent rain on the earth, and there was no one to work the ground. None of this was mentioned at all before. I mean, it wasn't mentioned that plants needed rain. It's like this was written after as sort of a clarification or something. Like, okay, I know this stuff made no sense, so here's something we're adding to it. But oh well. But streams, another footnote, what does it say, or mist? Okay, but streams or mist came up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground. Then the Lord God formed a man, another footnote here, it says the Hebrew for man, Adam, sounds like and may be related to the Hebrew for ground, Adamah. It is also the name Adam. See verse 20. Okay. What was it? Oh, yeah. So, Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. Now the Lord God had planted a garden in the east, in Eden, and there he put the man he had formed. Where was he before that? Just sort of in a random place? The Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. Who eats trees? Okay, I guess you could eat these trees. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Now, people talk about the tree of knowledge of good and evil all the time, sometimes just calling it the tree of knowledge, but you don't hear much about the tree of life. I am going to make a much bigger deal out of this when it's mentioned again in, I think, Genesis 3. But anyway, a river watering the garden flowed from Eden. From there it was separated into 4 headwaters. Do rivers actually water gardens? I always thought you had to, like, take the water out of the river and put it on the plants. Oh well, I guess not. The name of the first is Pishon. It winds through the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold. None of these names of places are used anymore, so there's... and then, oh, this is funny, Genesis 4:12 is in parentheses in the New International Version. The gold of that land is good. Aromatic resin and onyx are also there. So, who cares? And anyway, why even mention gold? Did Adam need the gold? Did he use it for something? No. The name of the second river is Gihon, 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 whatever. It winds through the entire land of Cush, which at this point didn't mean anything. Or good, pearls, in the footnote there for Cush. The name of the third river is the Tigris, which is a real river. a real name for a river that we use nowadays. Anyway, it runs along the entire east side of Ashur. And the fourth river is the Euphrates, which is also a real river that we could point to on a map. Let's see. The Lord God took the man... Oh, basically this is all in the Middle East, of course, because that's where the people lived who wrote this story. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. To work it and take care of it. So he's supposed to do some work in this garden. He doesn't get to just sit around and eat fruit constantly. Okay. And the Lord God commanded the man, "You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die." Now, I know this has also been mentioned many times, but I'm going to mention it too. It's not the tree of death. It's called the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Right here, Genesis 2:17, basically Yahweh lies. He just lies. The Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." Now, I want to mention the King James version of this passage, because it's very weird. Let's see. Here we go. Genesis 2:18 in the King James version says, "And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him." And helpmeet. Yeah. Makes no sense. Let's see, where was I? It was on the New International Version, I believe. Get back. There we go. Okay, 19. Now the Lord God had formed out of the ground all the wild animals and all the birds in the sky. He brought them to the man to see what he would name them, and whatever the man called each living creature, that was its name. So the man gave names to all the livestock, the birds in the sky, and all the wild animals. Now, if everything ate plants, why is there livestock? How is anything even really considered livestock? Whatever. Okay. Anyway. Okay. But for Adam, then there's a footnote, or the man, no suitable helper was found. What were they supposed to help him with? I think, personally, I think it was, Yahweh was trying to give him something to have sex with, basically. Which is a bit gross that he made animals first, or other animals first. Well, in the Bible, humans aren't animals, but we know in reality that they are. Anyway, so the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep, and while he was sleeping, he took one of the man's ribs, or took part of the man's side. Interesting. That was in a footnote. And then closed up the place with flesh. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib, footnote, or part, he had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man. Wasn't she already to him? You know, how do you create someone out of a piece of their body without them being nearby? Also, if he can create dirt from nothing, why does he need to create man from the dirt? And if he can create man from dirt, why does he need to create a woman from the part of the man? Why didn't he just make her out of dirt too? Or just make them out of nothing, like he did everything else? The man said, this is the first thing, basically, that Adam has said in the Bible. "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." Yes, she is basically your daughter. She's or a clone or something. So she shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man. Basically, her name at this point is not Eve, it's woman. Which is interesting. And how is it that she's called woman because she was taken out of a man? Is that what woman means? I don't think that's what the word woman means. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. That doesn't logically follow from that. Oh, since a woman was taken from a guy's ribs, that means a man needs to leave his father and mother and be united to his wife. Nonsense. Okay. Adam and his wife were both naked and they felt no shame. And? Okay. Anyway. There we go. That is Genesis 2. Very silly, very silly. Okay, and so, see you next time.